What's up, YouTube? This is Ocean. I'm not gonna give you guys my last name. I'm just gonna abbreviate it with G. Um, I'm starting a YouTube channel that's gonna be for a variety of things. But beginning, I'm going to have a section just reviewing movies. And to begin, I'm going to start by reviewing the Tupac movie, the All Eyez on Me movie. So stay tuned for my review. It should be full of a lot of opinions on the movie. I should really break the whole movie apart. Um, as a person, I'm a very opinionated person, and I'm very detailed. So in my details, in my reviews, I'm gonna be leaving a very detailed response about it. And I should probably have 3 sections that I should be reviewing about every movie. In this All Eyez on Me, I already started thinking about what I'm gonna review on it. I was gonna first talk about the characters, the actors, in other words, and the actual story of the movie, and then just some of the mishaps that they had in the movies, and just some of the good parts. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So to begin this review, I'm going to start with the exciting shit. I'm going to talk about the bad parts of the movies, or the movie. So there were a couple of things bad about the movie, and I would think that everyone agrees that one of the major things that were bad about this movie were the characters. I think the characters, they could have done a little bit better. There were some characters who were outstanding, and others, like Snoop Dogg, who were fucking terrible. That one was fucking laughable. Actually, in the movie theater, when the Snoop Dogg character came, everyone started laughing about it. Everyone. One of the best characters that I can say were in the movie were Tupac's mother. Tupac's mother in the movie, she was very, very good character. The actress who played the part was perfect. She did very, very good. So there was a lot of bad characters. I mean, one thing about it was not the acting, but just the people they chose for the part. The people they chose for the part were just terrible. I mean, I don't know if the movie was just low budget, or if they just didn't have eyes and just could see the person just obviously didn't look like the person they were acting as. Let's talk about fucking Dr. Dre, for instance. In the Straight Outta Compton movie, they chose someone who looked at least similar to him, at least a little bit similar to him. But in this All Eyez on Me movie, the guy looked more like me than Dr. Dre. He looked nothing like Dr. Dre. That's just one person. Another person, I know that everyone is going to get on me about this because the guy does have a little bit of likeness to Tupac. But the main character, the person who actually played Tupac, this is going to lead into something else we're going to talk about in the movie. But the guy's image, there's so many people who look like Tupac. You know, there's so many people who make a living impersonating Tupac. They chose this guy. He looked like a fucking bubblehead. He looks like a black Caillou. This dude looks like Little Bill. Like, you see this fucker's head. Like, they're gonna choose him out of all the Tupac doubles. I mean, I guess he sounded like Tupac a little bit, but looks-wise, the guy looked nothing like Tupac. So now I'm going to talk about the good characters. One character I would say was really good, and a lot of people probably don't even know who this guy is, especially nowadays. Back then, everybody knows who he was. But from Digital Underground, you guys know Humpty Dumpty, Shock G. I think from my knowledge, I used to listen to Digital Underground a lot. Shock G looked really like the character. I think they casted the person very well. He was a good cast, you know? And I even think that the
Jada Pinkett.
I don't know how to pronounce the name, kind of retarded. her character was also pretty good too. I don't think she looked good as Halle Berry, which I think that she was a good character. She played her part very well. That's just the characters. I don't know what to say now. So the next part I'm going to be reviewing is going to be the actual story, the storyline of the movie, and the play out, the way that they chose to give the information. I like the fact that it was in an interview format. I think that some parts of Tupac's story were a little rushed past. I don't know if it's because they didn't have enough information on it, but a lot of it just seemed like it was just like pushed out, just really quick, just pushed out. So that's just one part I didn't like about it. One part that I did like is the fact that this movie was given out in an epic format. They gave from when he was small kid, and by the way, that was a character I like too, the little kids, the young Tupacs. Since he was a kid, what started him writing until his adulthood. I think that was really good that they did that, but I think that there were just some portions. Let's say, for instance, his high school experience. I think they rushed past that a little bit. They could have gave a little bit more of a story about that, because there were some parts of his of those years. You know, the high school years. That's like some of the biggest years of a lot of people's lives. So I think they could have covered that a little bit more if they had the information too. One part that I also wanted to leave a review on was his instance with Death Row Records. I my thing I know a lot of people hate him, but Suge Knight, to me, that character is just so fucking awesome. I mean, I think they did really good with Suge Knight in the movie, and they made him seem like a fucking fearful man. At first, when I first seen it, I was thinking maybe it's respect, but no, everyone were fucking afraid of Suge Knight. I think that when they played that part of the movie, I think that they did very well, but I kind of feel like they focused on that part of his life a little bit too much, and I think they messed up on a couple of things too with it. I know that Suge Knight was a blood, and obviously in the movie they were using the word blood a lot, so there's a lot of gang culture for them. One thing I did notice was, let's say, Tupac, for instance. He wasn't wearing red in the movie. In real life, because he was around Suge Knight and they were all bloods, Tupac did start wearing red. I didn't see Tupac wearing red with Suge Knight once, and I think that was one part of that section of the story that wasn't that great. Well, I know this is like not a main thing that probably should be reviewed, but I'm a big fashion guy. I fucking love fashion. So that's the next part that I'm going to review, is the fucking fashion of the movie. I'm not going to say I was, let's say, actually around, even though I was born in 1995. I wasn't like a teenager in the 90s, so I'm not going to say I'm an expert on 90s fashion, but for a large portion of my life I used to listen to 90s rap, and I kind of have an idea of what people used to wear in the 90s, and plus my father was born in the 90s. Well, he wasn't born in the 90s, but he actually grew up in the 90s. So I would talk about the fashion. One thing that I noticed in the movie was there was so much Versace. There was so much Versace in the movie. I don't know if that was something that was popular back then too. I know that Versace is very popular now, but man, Tupac, in almost every scene, Tupac was wearing Versace clothes. And honestly, I think that was fucking, even if it wasn't like true to the history of the 90s style, I think that was very nice. I really like the Versace clothes. The button ups were very nice. They're amazing. My next part was gonna be about one thing I hated about the movie. One thing I really, really hated about the movie, and this is just gonna tag on to what I was talking about before, was Tupac's character. Of course, like I said, the character was alright. He looked like a black Caillou, right? One thing I hated, and I think was kind of disrespectful to Tupac's memory, was the fact that the character that played Tupac actually replaced Tupac in a lot of Tupac's actual images. I felt that was a little disrespectful in a way, and I felt like that was something that was literally a no-no, and I don't think they should have done. They shouldn't have ever used, let's say for instance, the actual All Eyez on Me and the Machiavelli CDs, and even like some of his interviews. They actually took Tupac away from the images. They could have actually played clips from actually back then and actually showed the album covers, but they chose to take Tupac's image and just like put this guy like he is Tupac. But he's of course an actor. He's not Tupac, so I don't think it was respectful to do so. That was something I really hated about it. So that was the end of my video. None of this is scripted. This is all off the top of my head. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you can, like, subscribe, and follow. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.